to me.
Greetings, my little lovelies. I hope I find you all well again, and as usual feeling tickety-boo. Now, we've got lots to get through today. We've had a couple of news stories sent in by viewers of the channel that we've finally managed to get round. There's more to come, so if you have sent stuff in, don't worry, we will get round to it. It's just quite difficult at the moment. We've got another story about a tunnel in Tennessee, which is very interesting. There's President Lincoln's ghost. I know we've done that before, but we've got a new one, so we're doing it again. We've got strange things that happen in a cloud, and we've also got a near-death experience. Now then, that seems quite a lot, isn't it? So, without further ado, my little lovelies, let's crack on, shall we? The following has been sent in by Mark James, a viewer of the channel. When I was a child, about 12 years old, my sister and I saw a flash of light enter my bedroom. My grandmother had terminal cancer and had been placed in my sister's bedroom. So with two beds on the walls closest to the door, we both had a view of the door. My dad didn't like wasting money, so all lighting was off upstairs. Around 9:30, my sister and I were talking, and a flash of light enters our bedroom, 5 foot off the ground and about 18 inches past the door. A white flash with a blue edge. My sister saw all the colours of the rainbow in the light. It didn't illuminate the room, and like a flash of a camera, it was gone. We called out to our parents, and they asked what had happened. We asked our grandmother, who said she was sleeping and saw nothing. Many years later, I went to an educational forum at our company head office. Most were educational hairdressing, but this was different. If I said that the emotional baggage we carry hinders your performance at work at this forum for us, was for us to grow beyond that. The class should have been for about 30 people, but ended up just being my staff and I, about 7 to 8 people. The person taking the session was called Stuart Pearce, a parapsychologist, and he took all of us apart and put us back together through the day. Now for me, I had always felt my grandmother's presence, and it felt like I had taken my grandmother to this session with me. I told Stuart this story, and his response was that it was my grandmother having an out-of-body experience, and he stopped mid-sentence as he was speaking to me. He looked me straight in the eyes and said, "She's with you now, isn't she?" I replied, "I think so." "You feel things, don't you?" he asked me. I confirmed that I did, but didn't like that I couldn't control it. He showed me techniques for only accepting positivity, but I've never really explored it. My wife gets attention from spirit form now, so I get left alone. The Sensborough Tunnel in Tennessee is known to locals as a place of great evil and is to be avoided at all costs. Said to be the site of various child murders, people report hearing screams and footprints, as well as the wailing of a baby. If one drives into the tunnel and shuts off their car engine, the car will not start again. People have seen phantoms in their rear view mirrors approaching their vehicles and have seen strange lights rush towards them down the length of the tunnel. Some people have even said that after driving out of the tunnel, they have discovered baby-sized handprints along the sides of their cars. What about that, my little lovelies? Anybody ever been there? Let us know. The following has been sent in by Sonya Griffey. She says, "My mother passed away while I was pregnant with my youngest. I could do nothing but sob and weep. I was so heartbroken. While sitting in my room at the foot of the bed, I often would feel her presence there, standing in the doorway. I was sad. I didn't go in her room or touch her things for about 6 months. I was pregnant and couldn't do the grieving anymore. It wasn't healthy for my baby, and I had to let my mum go. The last time I believe my mum came to me, I was sitting at the foot of the bed again, and a small ball of light glided into the hall from my little girl's room, about 2 inches round and about 1 foot off the floor. It stopped in front of my door and just hovered there. I've never seen anything like it before, and I felt it was somehow my mum, as strange as that may sound. I told my mum I loved her and that it was okay to go, that I was fine. At that moment, the ball of light disappeared. It just faded away, and I've never seen it since. I've dreamt of my mum once since then. She was smiling and looked amazing. I now know that she's at rest, and sometimes I wonder if that light was really her spirit. I've never shared this before. It feels good to do so. Stay blessed. Is this the ghost of Abraham Lincoln? Some people have suggested that it is. The photograph was taken by Abbey Rowe during Harry S. Truman's reconstruction of the White House in 1950. Let us know your thoughts, folks. This photograph was taken in California. The person taking the picture took it to demonstrate how much traffic there was on the road. But look at the cloud. That's the most interesting thing about this picture. Some people have said they can see her face in it. What can you see, my little lovelies? Let us know. A woman who claims to have stood before Jesus and God is convinced life after death is real. Science is yet to find any definitive evidence to prove once and for all whether life after death is real or not. But there are people who claim to already know the answer after supposedly catching a glimpse of the afterlife. People who have stood on the brink of death often recall seeing bright lights, hearing voices, or leaving their bodies. One woman who shared her name as Laura claims to have had a profound experience of the afterlife after being injured in a car crash back in 1986. Laura said she was taken to hospital, but she had already gone somewhere else. Laura said she remembers seeing Jesus and God in front of her. She said, "Jesus asked me if I wanted to see where I was, and I nodded yes. He showed me that he was in front of me and wearing a white robe, sitting on a tall white chair. I was at his feet kneeling, with my back on my thighs. I had my hands covering my face and was crying." Sitting next to Jesus, Laura said, she could see God. According to this bizarre account, God was obscured by a round cloud, but she could see a part of his side and his back. Laura said Jesus then asked God whether she could live or not. God motioned something to Jesus, and Jesus suddenly stood up and yelled in a loud, almost a celebrating voice. He said yes. The next thing Laura knew, she was awake and back in her hospital bed. Welcome back, my little lovelies. I hope you enjoyed them. As usual, let us know your thoughts. Keep everything nice and clean and tickety-boo. Now, anybody else losing the plot during this lockdown? I lose track of days. I've no idea what day it is. Mind you, that's nothing new. Right. Now, behave, Julian. Now, welcome all the new subscribers. Enjoy, have fun, get involved with us. We love to hear from you. Right. That's enough nonsense from me. Until next time, my little lovelies, take care and stay safe. Ta-ta, my little lovelies. Ta-ta. Oh yeah, all right.